This saying, I want to see if you believe in this, Ramon. Happy wife, happy life. Do you guys go by that?
Hell no. Hell to the here's what I mean by that. So to me, that means or forget me. That's my opinion, baby. I can tell you how I think it. We both need to be happy. Just because she's happy and I'm not happy, why the hell is this marriage happy?
Right.
No, I totally disagree. Happy spouse, happy life. She could be unhappy, and truth be told, I can be happy. She could be upset about something I know. Okay, well, I ain't doing nothing wrong. I ain't nothing. You be all right. You say that. What? You could be unhappy, and you will be happy.
The Highest Point Podcast.
More than a pod, it's a lifestyle.
Yo. Welcome to the Highest Point Podcast. This is a podcast for everyone, no matter where you're from, no matter what you've been through. You know you deserve the best and willing to put in the work for progress to reach the highest point. Now, speaking about reaching the highest point, ladies and gentlemen, we have some very, very special guests in the building. I'm talking about a certified and spiritual life coach, radio host, speaker, and hosts of the Couples Lounge, Mr. Ramon and Candace Tuck in the building. What's happening with y'all?
What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Right.
So glad to have y'all on the show. And thank you for joining us. Now, so often people see the end result of things, right? Like this big following that you guys have established on Facebook. They see you guys' relationship and just see that, okay, you got to this point and this relationship is so good it had to be luck. It didn't require any work to get to where you guys at. So we like to get into the journey. You know what I mean? So that's very, very important for us to understand the journey to get to where we are, because we know it don't happen overnight, right?
Absolutely.
So something I did want to start off with, though, is a lot of people would just jump right into, okay, how you guys met? I don't want to do that. I want to get some ideas about how you guys were as individuals first. So I'll start off with you, Candace. Can you give me an idea about, where you're from, growing up, and also your family dynamics as well in your household?
Okay, so I'm a city girl, so went to a big high school. I am the only girl that grew up in the house, and I had three brothers. I have three brothers, so I'm the second. And so, but it's almost like I'm the first because my oldest brother is 7 years older than me. So it afforded, like, of course, the whole little sister thing where he's telling me I got to do this and do that, and he always makes jokes. Like, I would call mama like, he's trying to tell me what to do, and I'm telling him, you can't tell me what to do. And so then I'm the big sister of two little brothers. So grew up in the household with both of my parents as well, and I think that probably will come up later on in the show, the importance or what we thought the importance of that was. And so I have a lot of cousins. My cousins are like my siblings. And so I would say I grew up in a good environment.
Okay.
But it was areas in the household that showed up in the marriage that wasn't so good.
Right. Totally understand. Now, when you said city girl, where was that place you grew up at?
I grew up in Fort Worth.
Okay, Fort Worth. Got you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. Ramon. Now, can you give us a little idea about, where you from and what was your family dynamics growing up?
Well, I'm a country boy. I grew up in East Texas, a small town, like 3,000 people, one high school, one middle school.
Small.
Very small.
I relate.
Both parents, grew up with both parents in the household, still happily married today. I'm the oldest that grew up in the house. My father had a child before he got married with my mom. And so I'm the oldest in the house with just a little sister. But my older sister was there. When we're taking family vacation, she's there with us. So we grew up pretty much together, but I grew up in the household with just a little sister. Typical household, old school parents who, especially a country boy coming from the country, you cutting the yard, out washing cars, you doing it, out chores that boys are supposed to do. At the same time, giving the leadership to, as she had it, tell my little sister what to do. Look, we supposed to do this.
Right.
And when she didn't do it, it fell upon me. So again, I grew up in a loving environment. My mom and dad still happily married today. We look forward to going to the country each time we can, spend time with them. So that was my childhood.
Awesome. Okay, so that's very interesting. Both of you guys grew up, both parents now, and both of y'all had kind of leadership positions as well. So I wonder if that's going to cause y'all to butt heads a little bit, because both of y'all used to being leaders growing up.
Right.
So, we'll talk about that a little bit too. Now, I did want to ask as well, what did you gain the most watching your parents' relationship growing up, and how did it have an influence on your initial relationships?
For me, I saw the affection. I saw my mom slapping on my dad's butt. My dad, God, your mama, and how they constantly kissed and hugged each other, how they did it to me. My dad, to this day, I love you, son, and give me a kiss on the forehead. And in this household, we are very affectionate. Our children are. We are. And that's one thing that I took from us. I got a lot of things growing up, good and bad, but that was one thing that I definitely brought in a relationship, the affection. And it rubbed over to my wife, and she's very affectionate.
Okay.
You're asking some really good questions, because you just highlighted something that I've never even realized, and that was that leadership aspect of things. And look, we've been together over 26 years, and the light bulb just went off for me when you said that.
Yeah. 27.
I said over 26.
Yeah, see that leadership right there? You see it both going? Yeah, that's so real though. But that's, if you don't mind me asking, Ramon, how old are you?
46.
46. Now, older generations, a lot of times that affection from a man, it really wasn't there as much. So I think that's very, very dope and fortunate for you to be able to see, because it really wasn't cool. Like, people didn't really, gravitate to that. They'll call you soft if you're showing too much affection. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, how did you get to that point? You and your pops ever talk about stuff like that?
Yeah, well, yes, he's mentioned it because his father wasn't affectionate like that. So he made a conscious effort to be that. He's a lot like him in so many ways, but he was very conscious to be home. My grandfather, which I didn't know because he passed, I think I was 2 or 3, so I have no remembrance of him, ran the streets. And my dad made sure that he was home and told his son, I love you, and gave me a kiss to the forehead. And I do it to my son. And I'll never forget this. There's been times where, like, my son is in college, junior college, playing basketball. And after a game or whatnot, I said, son, I love you. And he was like, I love you too. And I've noticed how some guys that kind of look like, wow, did he just tell his daddy? Did his daddy just, so I made a conscious effort to do my son that way. So when I tell him I love him, it's common for my son to tell me, I love you, old man. I love you too, boy. And, it's nothing for him to do like it was nothing for me, because I made a conscious effort to be affectionate with my son. Yeah. So one day when he has children, that's something positive that he could say he got from his dad, how loving, and not only did he show love, he verbalized it with his son. We easily do it with our daughters. Lord knows we do it with our daughters. But I want to be conscious of it to do it with my son, because my father was conscious to do it with me, and he still does it to this day.
Yeah, I mean, that's an awesome thing to pass on, man, because I didn't, like, my pops was there all my life, my mom, with my mom all my life, but more so the affection piece came from my mom. It's like my dad always showed us that he loved us, but the words didn't come out often. It had to be like, man, it had to be something crazy going on to hear my pops say I love you, you can be like, what the what? Like, I love you too? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's a really, really dope dynamic. And I think I came conscious of trying to do that to my kids. So, I did want to come in and ask you as well, Candace. Now, what are some things that you may have picked up and, you're watching your mom and your pops and their relationship, and how did it translate to some of your relationships?
I would say watching my mom, I didn't realize it at the time, but once I became a wife, my mother is the biblical version of a wife. The submissiveness, the calm spirited, the really no conflict and confusion. So I didn't see like my parents argue. I didn't win. I know they did, but I didn't win. And so to later on now be a wife, I always have a reference to go back to what a godly wife looks like. Right. I've never heard my mama like talk crazy to my dad, and none of that. And so that was something that I saw. I would say I also was able to see like two people still being themselves in the relationship. My parents are totally opposite. My daddy is very outgoing, extrovert, and my mama is more so introvert, chill, to herself. So to be able to see that you can be your individual self and still merge into being one.
Right. I say all the time, her mother is an angel. Like, when I tell you I love that woman, I love her. I love her. My mother-in-law is an angel on earth. And I kid you not, God looks down and he sees her and he's smiling. Yeah. That's my mother. Yeah. So yeah, like those are, I would say those were the good things that I saw that definitely was a benefit in relationships.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, like when in my selection process, because I'm married now as well, but before I used to like look at the girl's mom to help me make a decision. Like, okay, am I gonna look for something deeper with her or not? You know what I'm saying? I gauge the moms like. And
that's something I talk to my son about. My son has a girlfriend now, if you will. And I've talked to him like, hey, keep her mama. See how she, I'm like, that don't mean she will be just like that.
Right.
But, hey, you better look. Yes. Without question.
Yes, sir. That's a fact. So that's some game. We got to pass it on to the fellas now. And the ladies too. Like, they can do the same thing.
Look at her daddy. Right. Look at his daddy. Better look at him.
For real. So, okay, now, do you guys believe in the traditional roles in a relationship, like the man the provider and the woman is the nurturer of the home?
Yes and no. We do. We just add our own flair to it, to where, as a provider, yes, my wife looks to me to provide as well as she should. She's not looking to just work and not be a stay-at-home dad. And neither do I want to. Unless she was making Oprah type money, then I would be. But other than that, we put our own spin to it in as far as this. My wife flat out, which is just frustrating now, hates to cook.
Man, I've been cooking for over 25 years.
You got a lifetime to go. Relax. So, this is how we put our spin to it. I'll never forget this one Christmas, we got my son a basketball goal. We bought him a basketball goal for outside. I'm in the house cooking up some meal, whipping up a whole meal. She's out there putting the basketball goal together.
And flipped it around. Like,
because her dad, if you give a man some toothpicks and some tape, he'll bid you a shopping center. And I kid you not, this man is just, wow. He can fix or make or create anything. He can literally build a home and furnish it on the inside with some tape. That's how I feel that I'm exaggerating, but I'm not exaggerating. And she's like that. Well, my father, if the plumbing was bad, he called the plumber.
Right.
If the car was messed up, he got a mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my dad got under the hood and figured it out and did it himself. So with me, if something goes wrong, well, we got a job for. Let me call the mechanic. Let me call this plumber. She's YouTubing. But I'm gonna get under here. Well, you handle that. I got this. Go ahead.
Right.
So yeah, I would say this: we try to keep we aim to the biblical standards of what a husband and wife is asked to do, but we also don't. It's just not our traditional roles. It's almost like we do what works and what needs to be done in the household. Like he said, I love building stuff. We get some and me putting it together. I love doing it.
And I hate it. I'm like, man, you got it. Go ahead.
You know, I'm at a place now where I don't, before, like in our first years of marriage, I was looking at him like what my daddy did. Like, well, why you just want to do it? And it caused me to start looking at him a certain type of way. And so I had to have this aha, like, it don't have to be done like that. And he's not my, and I can't even do it. I want him to do it because he's a man. Girl, get in there and like, so we do what works for us. Yeah. What can keep the chaos and confusion down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you hit a point there because I don't like to just fall into those boundaries of just traditional. Like you have to do it this way. It's so important to do things that work for you, and it's not one size fit all. Because if something working for my relationship, it don't mean it's gonna work for yours. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to do what's really best for y'all. So the way you all came up with that, on your own and figured it out, I think that's very commendable, and that's probably how you guys are so strong. I can see the chemistry with you right now, just seeing you just bouncing off of each other, and I can tell that's organic and real. Because a lot of these people that doing things like you all are doing, it ain't real, and I can see through bullshit, and I don't see no bullshit with y'all. Like I'm gonna keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Like I see real love here, so that's dope. Now also, can you tell us about the first time you all met, and did you know you would be interested in each other at that time?
No. We met in college, and I saw him freshman week, and he looked hideous in what he had on. He was in a whole basketball, an orange basketball.
That was my school color. I had the whole uniform.
The whole uniform. He took the whole uniform.
I did.
And it was just like he was coming into his homeboy room. Me and my friends was over in their dorm room, and he came in and was talking about doing a store run, and it was nothing special. I guess that like twinkle in my eye at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And we found out he had a. And so me and my homegirls was like, oh, we about to use him for his car. He'll be our trip to Minneapolis to Walmart because it was like 30 minutes away and none of us had cars.
Mm-hmm.
And that ride that he took us to Walmart was the scariest ride I probably have taken in my life. I kept saying, if my mama knew I was in a car with a stranger, and he was doing what he's doing right now.
He was showing off.
Yeah. No, he was attacking us. UGK tape.
Don't mess with UGK.
And he was like, "Give my tape." He didn't know us, and we didn't really know him, and so it wasn't. He ended up taking us to his mom's house because he had to stop by the house, and after that, it was just like. She like gave us pictures of him, graduation pictures she was trying to get rid of, so she gave it to all of us. And then after that, I don't know, something switched for me at some point, and so
you opened your eyes and you saw me. That's all that was.
I saw him in his Tommy Hilfiger, like dressed like he started like he actually dressed. But I don't know, it was something special. Something special got a twinkling going for me, but
I didn't like her. It wasn't nothing I looked at.
He liked yellow hammers.
I like light skinned. I like when I grew up. If you wasn't light skinned and looked mixed or had Mexican, I wasn't really into you. I wasn't into so seeing, so when I saw her, it was like, whatever, no big. But the more we hung out, like, I think I like this girl. How did this happen? So she was, our first interaction wasn't like I was just infatuated with her or she was with me. It's something that just came to be. But it wasn't love at first sight. Love at first sight. Not at all. She was not the type that I was typically into.
Wow. Now that's awesome. I mean, that's my wife. She would she never liked light skinned dudes. She loved a tall black ass man. You know what I'm saying? Just like her entire history.
Right.
All the dark skinned dudes, right? And
my entire history was like
it's like so when it's like I don't know how she had this stigma against like light skinned people think they pretty boys and all this other stuff. They think they look better than me. I don't need no man in competition with me and all this type of stuff.
Right.
I'm like, yo, that's just if you ain't never talked to no light skinned man, how you even know if any of that true?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And now if a light skinned and a dark skinned woman walk in the room, the dark skinned woman catches my eye. Like light skinned, she's pretty. Hey, look at that chocolate though.
Right. Yeah. My wife is chocolate, and I always liked the opposite of me, so I just went in and got what I wanted. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah. Now, I did also want to ask, do you guys have all your kids together, or do you have any kids separately?
No, all ours together.
Awesome.
We have 3.
Oh,
2
3
girls and a boy.
Okay, awesome. Now, how old are they?
One just turned, our oldest, she just turned 26. We had her in college. And my son is, we had him after we got married. He's 19. And baby girl is 16.
Oh, wow.
Baby girl is 16.
That's what's up. So what is something important that you're trying to pass down? What is something you want your kids to grasp the most out of y'all relationship?
Oh, that's a good question.
Something that I want our kids to grasp the most. That we loved each other and we never gave up. We never gave up and we were never disrespectful.
Right.
Especially in front of them. What I mean by that, I don't want my children to have kids and to call each other out their names. That's something we don't, call this, something we don't do, and we darn sure wouldn't do it in front. I couldn't handle it if she did it. That would be a deal for her. And she couldn't handle it if I did it.
Yeah.
But especially showing that type of disrespect in front of our children. Our children see the love that we have for each other, the affection that we have for each other, and they've heard disagreements, but through it all, they see the respectfulness and the love that comes between us. So our kids will one day get into a marriage and realize, okay, mom and dad had disagreements, but I still saw the love. I never saw that disrespect. And they made it work. So even though we may have a bump in the road right here, we could still make it work too.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh, awesome. Now, they got this saying. I want to see if you believe in this, Ramon. Happy wife, happy life. Do you guys go by that?
Hell no. Hell to the
it's like you.
Here's what I mean by that. So to me, that means forget me. That's my opinion, baby. I can tell you how I take it. You may take it differently, but that's how I take it. I totally disagree. Because if the woman is happy and the man is in hell and miserable, so that means happy life? That's crazy as hell. Happy spouse, happy life. We both need to be happy. Just because she's happy and I'm not happy, why the hell is this marriage happy?
Right.
No, I totally disagree. Happy spouse, happy life.
Yeah.
So that notion, she has to be happy or nobody. Yeah, she could be unhappy. And truth be told, I can be happy.
Right.
She could be upset about something. I know, okay, well, I ain't doing nothing wrong. I ain't nothing. You be all right. You say that. What? You could be unhappy. And you will be happy about a situation. And let's just say, I know I've done nothing wrong. You unhappy right now. All right, you get past it. You stop that. Oh, not necessarily. If I did something wrong, then no, I'm not going to be happy. But a bit, yes, do I want you happy? Yes. Would I be happy long term if you're unhappy? No. But at this particular moment, just because you mad don't mean I'm going to be mad. I ain't going to get up here and lie. But happy spouse, happy life. That should be the same.
Yeah, it's happy spouse, happy house.
There you go. That should be the same.
I see it like this.
Break it down.
I know you. I definitely know you can see it two different ways, and some women take it with the way, I need to be happy. But I feel like if the wife is happy, then that since we are receivers, then it's something that the husband is doing, and because I'm happy, if I'm trying to be a godly wife, I'm going to be aiming to make him happy. I think as women, we run off of our hearts, we run off our emotions, and when the wife, who's the nurturer, like you said earlier, the nurturer of the house, she's the one that brings that affection, that love, that this, that, and the other. We are the heart. Y'all are the brain. Y'all are the head. And so if the heart is under attack or the heart is not functioning as good as it could be, it impacts the whole body. And so I look at it like, I take that saying like that, because if the wife is happy, it's because of the husband, it's because of her house, and in return, she reciprocates that to him, so he is happy. And so that's the mindset I take it from.
And I understand that, but that sounds good.
You see it from a different perspective.
Yeah, I do.
You can see it from either way. It just lets you know where your mindset is.
Just because you're happy, that every wife is not a godly wife. So you're talking in a perfect world scenario.
Perfect world. It's not. That's just.
I'm being realistic. Every wife is not a godly wife. Do you agree?
I do agree.
Okay, then. So it makes.
No.
Oh, y'all need to go. This is for y'all to go back and forth about these things. I want to get y'all input.
If that's the case, it's reasonable to believe that every wife may be happy and the man is not happy, because she's not godly. That doesn't mean, so I'm happy, I'm going to try to make him happy because I'm happy. She may be happy in a fist of him.
In what?
He may be happy in
his expense.
Yes. Yeah, because if he's out there just busting his tail, working all the time, and just buying her everything, he's unhappy, but she's happy that she's getting everything she wants.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It can be.
It can be. And I would say even in that scenario, sometimes a woman doesn't know that her husband is unhappy. You know what I'm saying? We can be in a relationship and she is happy and he's not communicating. I don't know. I was looking at something the other day, and this woman was saying how she was talking to her Uber driver, and through their conversation, he just felt like all his kids, all they needed him for was money.
Yep.
And so he provided, and he overworked and this, that, and the other. But as she talked to him, he even confessed by the end of the conversation that he wasn't happy. And if that's not communicated, the woman may not know that he is unhappy.
She's not on her job.
No, that's not.
Okay.
Because you can make it. A lot of times a woman can make it hard for a man to express that, because once he do say a little something, she'll try to project pain on him now. Because she's like, okay, you made me feel a type of way since you're telling me you're not happy, instead of trying to fix or help resolve that issue.
Let me take it a little further. If you've been married with your spouse for a long period of time, I don't have to tell you I'm unhappy. You know. You know your wife. Your wife knows you. So if I'm unhappy, I don't have to say, baby, I'm unhappy. You know from my tone, my demeanor, my action, my husband is not happy. So for her not to know he's unhappy, that tells me that's a wife that's not in tune with her husband.
What if he hiding it though?
Just got married.
A man can hide his emotions well, you know.
No. We do hide our emotions, but yet she still knows, baby, what's wrong. What's wrong? Talk to what you know when something is wrong. Right. What no matter how I try to hide it, you know what's wrong. We might not know what's wrong, you know something is wrong.
Yeah, and in that, as you saying more, is even when asking sometimes, you know, what's going on, how you feel, it's nothing, I'm good, I'm fine, this, that, and the other. And although we sense it, feel it, but if you telling me this, right. I have to go with that.
Right.
I definitely with the happy spouse, happy house.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, happy spouse, happy house.
Subscribe now for part 2.